I'm Leanne Monroe, the assistant principal at Twin Valley Middle High School. I'm not going to talk a whole lot because I really want these kids to show off all of the work that they've done this year in conjunction with us. But our communications campaign originally started kind of focusing on the large school community and communicating with them about changes that were coming due to recent legislation. But as we got through it, we kind of felt we really needed to focus on our school building, the adults and the students within that. So we really, as a result of the survey feedback, found out that there was mixed understanding from everybody about what Act 77 was, what proficiency-based learning was, and how we could possibly talk about this without building a common vocabulary. So our campaign really focused on the process of communicating and building that vocabulary so that we could have communication with the larger community as we move forward through this process.
So I'm Tom Fitzgerald, the principal, and my very small part of our presentation is to explain to you the intention of our Pecha Kucha. And my first reaction to that question was, that's a good question. I could come up with two things. One is that it captures a moment in time of a very long journey, and the other captures the growth of a group of kids. The moment in time of a very long journey is that 10 years ago, the towns of Wilmington and Whitingham started a journey that everyone in the state is undertaking now, insert Act 46 here, and they decided that if they were to survive, they would have to consolidate their schools. We did a lot of renovations, and then 3 years ago, Twin Valley Middle High School was really born, where we moved into a renovated facility, and we had all our kids 6 through 12. And a lot of the community kind of patted themselves on the back and said, good job, walked away and said, we were done. And Leanne and I were given an amazing opportunity because we came on to this new building, we were a new administrative team, and we looked at each other and said, we're just starting. One of our school mission statement is growing innovators who will change the world. For us, it's more like we like to blow things up. Because we've done a lot of blowing up in terms of what education looks like. We've embraced flexible pathways and proficiency-based learning to its core. Our teachers and our kids are free to say all the time, what if, and we love what if. So that's a big part of what we've done. The other part is that we were really lucky because if you were to ask anybody what is the most important thing in our school to our administrative team, it's relationships with kids and staff. And so what we were able to chronicle in this is the relationships that we have with these kids and how they have grown and how this is really changing education in our school. And this piece of it is kind of a turning point for us. So they've done a great job, and now I'll let them do what they want to do. Sam?
All right, so we're going to introduce ourselves before we get started. I'm Sam Morris, and I'm a senior at Twin Valley.
My name is Mallory Bauer. I'm a junior.
I'm Dylan Howell. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Kara Bird. I'm a freshman.
Thomas Marciano, I'm a senior.
I'm Dylan King, I'm a junior.
All right, so this journey for us has been like a Vermont dirt road. We are all going down this road differently, whether by car, ATV, horse. We've hit potholes in the road and we've took sharp curves, but we've just went with it. At the end of the road, we have reached our common goal and we are looking out onto the mountainous landscape.
Alright, so to start off our journey, we conducted a survey for the 7th through 12th graders, and in total it was about 185 people. And we didn't know how it was going to go, so we started off with an inspirational video. It's called The People versus the School System, and it tried to connect our views with their inspiration.
So based on the data that we collected from the survey, we found those 3 key focal points, and those were really what we based all of our discussions and activities around, was the idea that we needed to build an understanding and create common vocab for Act 77.
So one of our first activities was a faculty breakdown. We brought all the faculty members together and we separated them out into different subjects of teaching. And they read a text-based discussion. They had a text-based discussion, excuse me. And it was the Save the Last Word for Me protocol about Act 77. And
So we did a chalk talk separated by grade, and there were 4 different central ideas that each grade would write about, and this taught the students how we were moving on with Act 77 and what we planned on doing in the future.
so these are our results from the Chalk Talk. We thought it was really important to find the student-teacher partnerships were very relevant in the responses. And we thought that was powerful because it was also in a lot of what we learned about for Act 77, that they were already onto that.
So I think by far my favorite activity was a school-wide wagon wheel, and I think Helen can attest to that. We showed the 6 pathways to graduation video, just to get everyone on the same page. We did this dialogue strategy with faculty and students because we wanted to put an emphasis on that partnership, and we used the 4R articles because that coincided with their previous thought.
So from the wagon wheel, we gave them exit cards and they wrote down their common ideas and concerns. And we basically took all those exit cards and condensed them into this brainstorm map. And basically the number one thing that they were concerned about was student-teacher relationships.
Next, we did a text-based discussion with the students, and we used the Save the Last Word for Me procedure, and we had 2 people from our group facilitate each grade, and we tried to get the students to have a common vocabulary and a better understanding of activities.
Alright. The students struggled to speak with each other about Act 77. They were joined as pairs to discuss a text-based discussion. The engagement between them was hit or miss. We had reflected that advisory time is not the best time for activities due to all the lack of positive attitudes and other completing activities.
So we had actually a lot of struggles to overcome, which I'm sure at least some of these are similar for you. The biggest for us was pushback from students. It was mostly the juniors and the seniors who didn't really see the relevance in it because it wasn't really for them. You know, it doesn't affect them. And also, really a big one was scheduling, because we have a lot of different advisory activities that kind of battle us. So it was really hard to find time for the protocols was the biggest thing.
These common ideas for our school community also relate to the trends in the Act 77 research. This showed us that they were able to grasp the common ideas, which were very encouraging and rewarding for our entire group. Our community found a great concern for the resources available for our future flexible moment.
And for our next steps, we're going to reach out to the parents and communities because the kids go back to their parents and are like, oh, this is what I learned about today, and the parents are kind of confused. So now that we've developed a common understanding among our students and faculty, we can move into the installment of flexible pathways and the logistics side of that. And so that may be through a growth mindset, a learning style quiz, and now we're going to get into our reflections. So for me, I realized how passionate I am about this significant work. The change I'm making is one that'll last forever, and we actually had the newspaper come down and interview us, and one thing that I really talked about was how I have my 3 nephews, and they're all in elementary school, and they're growing up, and they're gonna go through this change and be like, hey, I made that change for you. And I've grown as a person, I've become more confident because I would never see myself doing this. And I'm eager to be an advocate for more change in my future endeavors.
So when I came into this process, I really wanted students to be excited about learning. Because I know that for me, learning is fun for me, and that's not the way it is for everybody. And I really wanted everyone to have that feeling when they're learning and be able to move forward in what they like to learn about. And you know, we know that research shows that when you want to learn about it, you're going to learn about it in a more effective way. So that's what I wanted for everyone.
So I joined our CSR team because I was like the opposite of Maui. I can sit in the classroom and learn, but it's not really what I wanted to do. So I wanted to see some sort of change in the way we like teach our children. You know, I wanted to see students get excited about learning and learn the things they want to learn, not the things they have to learn. So that was my golden shining moment.
All right, so my aha moment was when we were doing the wagon wheel, and the students, when you get them all in a group, it's kind of like rowdy, and they don't really pay attention. But with this one, they seemed to really pay attention and be engaged with what we were trying to tell them. And it was just kind of nice to see that they were like finding relevance in what we were trying to communicate to them.
I'm kind of on board with Thomas and Dylan. I was surprised to see that students were actually being engaged, but then I was also surprised to see that our community was getting engaged and helping us with what we were doing.
So my aha moment was that I realized that I can be more confident by doing, like, going through different experiences like this. Let's just say I'm very nervous right now, but I got through it, so.
You did great.
Yeah, we're good.
It's hard to follow that. I had about a million aha moments, so it's really hard for me to pick one. I tend to be one of those people who just wants to jump in and do everything all at one time, and you can ask anybody here that I constantly need like whoa, let's back up and slow down. So building the vocabulary and the understanding of Act 77 was hard for me because I wanted to hurry up and get all of the changes done as well. But when we did the wagon wheel, it was really, really incredible to see people using that vocabulary. Students who we don't normally see necessarily engaged in their academics were really paying attention and giving us a lot of feedback. And it was really reassuring to hear students saying that they believed in student-teacher relationships, because I think all of the adults usually talk about student-teacher relationships and really wanting to do that. But we don't necessarily hear from kids that they want to have a relationship with their teachers. So seeing that as a big common element through all of our work was really reassuring and encouraging for me.
My aha moment was more of a validation that we are on the right track as a school, and also that if we gave students a voice, they would step up and they would make us proud, and they would lead the way. So it's been a great experience for us. Thank you.